This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons, like Scry de la Rosa, Almagia Cat Comet, Saray Cypher, Hans Grenade, Anagan Therese, Bob Cece, Faris Gentoru, Cletus Oreo, Luke Leonatrell, Sapa Chaquatol, Courtney, Meili Algren, Serki Barakeel, Elim, Casey Schaefer, Lily Black, Chaitan, Cheshire Saltiri, Ariel, Arisuya Makawa, Cicera Fulalerafu, Daimos, Nina Grimsdaughter, Azuta Starbreeze, Umbral Wind, Quick Levin, Game Lord Geek, Sayori Snowfall, Ignal the Dragon, Freya Subaki, Kieran Robinson, Miscellaneous Cargo, Duke Jarlsberg, and Stella Bell. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Eorzeans. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 139. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Rollo Des and Maela Vanadar.
Hey.
Hey!
Hi.
Today's episode is mostly focused on the 15 event that is currently underway in Final Fantasy XIV. But there's also been an interview with Naoki Yoshida where he talks about Tsukuyomi specifically, and how that fight came to be, and how what their thought process was when they designed it. I thought that's an interesting topic, so we'll take a look at that. There's a dinosaur outside.
There's a giant duck.
No, was that a clown?
Wait, listen. Oh. No.
Who is that?
No, that's just a door. Just an old creaky door from my medieval castle in the distance.
It sounded like a clown honk.
Master, your brother refresh.
Does it have like Igor as his waiter?
Thank you, Igor. Anyways, we'll also read some Mog Mail. I need to oil my mic stand, clearly.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a car.
But also, stay tuned for the post-show, because ladies and gentlemen, there will be no post-show. Instead, who wants to be a gillionaire?
Yay.
You don't want to miss that. That is after the main podcast, and we'll also have Georgi assisting as judge and quizmaster in the background.
Judge Judy.
Judge
Frollo.
Judge Frollo. Okay, let's talk recent events. Oh god, there's so much to do. Here is recent events. Right, this isn't a recent event, this is just something we have to remind everyone. Our massive 12-hour stream is happening on Monday, April 22nd, starting at 1 p.m. BST until 1 a.m. BST. I'm sorry if you're in the Pacific time zone, because that means the stream starts at 5 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. PT. Such is life. But at least you might be able to catch, the latter half, unless...
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll do some return to source stuff at the end, so...
Yeah, you don't want to miss that.
Oh, God.
There's also the Lala race. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. Well, I think the Lala race is like the midpoint, so maybe like noon PT. No, wait, it would be before that even, actually. It'll be earlier in the day. So wake up early. Wake up early on Monday, and you'll catch us.
or don't. You don't have to wake up that early for us. If you're on that, it's fine. Watch the VOD even.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right. There's also something to add to what we talked about last week. Because last week something we were told right at the end of the episode that the restoration of the Holy See of Ishgard had something in the French translation that was not present in the English one. It talked about a new district called Azure, I think it was translated as. A part was added shortly after this, I guess, went, I guess it reached Square Enix somehow, and they were like, okay, fuck it, it's out. They added the following. As man and dragon work together to restore the Holy See to glory, they aim to lay the cornerstone of the new Ishgard, the firmament. However, nations are not rebuilt in a day, and this one has come to find it wants for helping hands.
It's a good name. Fits the theme of Ishgard a lot better than Azure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Azure was a theme for Ishgard as well, in a way, but this one fits better with the English.
French too.
Yeah, it does.
That's also true.
Yeah. We don't know if this is a housing district or if this is just... Because a lot of people are jumping on the housing district thing. I wouldn't do that yet, because you might be setting yourself up for disappointment, because we have no confirmation yet. It might just be like a new area. We have to be as... We have to be as pessimistic as possible, okay?
Expect nothing.
Expect nothing. Oh, I'm cursing us again? I'm not. I am not. Shit, I am. No.
You are.
God damn it. Okay, well...
Got it.
Speaking
I
of...
assume it's probably related to the church part of it based on the name.
Yeah,
so I assume
the firmament.
Redecorating the church.
What if we live in the church? That's the housing district.
We get a pew each.
Yeah.
You can have small pew, big pew, and medium pew.
Yeah, I love pews. So there's not much more to add to that, but at least it's on the website now. The firmament.
Sounds
now,
neat.
North America, the time has come. It is time to split you up.
Hooray.
Crystal boys, we're coming.
Yes. Square Enix issued a update on the Lodestone regarding the expansion of the North American data center. The expansion of the North American data center. Free world transfers for character on the North American data center begins on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019 after maintenance through Tuesday, May 7th at 8 p.m. PDT. During this period, the World Transfer Service will be available free of charge for all characters on the North American data center. And as usual, just like with the EU1, characters that were created on or recently transferred to a preferred world will not be able to utilize the free transfer if the 90-day cooldown has not elapsed. And that's that. Of course, just like the EU1, game time compensation is a thing, so we'll get the 1 day extra.
2 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Additionally, sorry, no, that's not. That's the same. Okay, never mind. That's it. It's happening to you now. We've already been through it. It's painful, but you'll be fine.
I feel like the NA one is less painful than the EU one.
Yeah, you're more people and you're more servers, so I don't think it'll be as painful as the EU one.
Yeah. We'll have some new friends.
Yeah.
On Crystal, we'll have fun. I'll visit all your houses if you want me to. Don't you worry.
I'm not even sure what servers are moving where, but
it's a lot.
Where is Balmung going?
That's going to Crystal.
Okay. So, that's interesting.
It's not that bad.
Okay. No. I'm just thinking.
It'll be fine.
I'm just yeah. That's fine.
It'll be fine.
That means that will the servers be down during our 12-hour stream?
It's gonna be a short stream then.
Yeah, well, we're
servers that
EU,
go down,
so we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Okay, that's interesting. Well,
That's probably good.
it
good
won't
listening
affect us at all,
No,
so we're
pretty
fine.
good.
Right. God, my iPad. I have bought the whole.
Wait.
I've bought a new one.
Is it All Worlds maintenance? Oh no.
Is it All Worlds? No, it's not. The EU one only shut down the EU servers, right? Oh, there's an All Worlds at the. Oh fuck! There'll be like 2 hours where the servers are down, but we'll be done by then, won't we?
I'm gonna check right now. You sort out your iPad, and I will check right now.
Yeah. Okay. Dead Air, the podcast. That's us.
Yeah, hi guys, welcome.
Right. So I don't know if I can't move on before we've figured this one out.
Okay, it's all worlds from 6 p.m. PDT, so we will be already done with the stream.
Oh, no problem then.
To 23rd.
Okay,
that's all right.
That's right then.
It's 9 hours of maintenance though.
Don't scare us like that.
Right. Final Fantasy 15. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
You guys like 15? You got an event for it.
Yeah.
That's true.
It came and it brought with it. Well, we'll talk about the individual stuff. Let's talk about just the story first before we talk about all the other shit.
Okay. We're gonna spoil it because it's right. We spoil it.
Well, we can't really talk about it without spoiling it.
Yeah.
Seeing as there's not a lot of it.
I hate this that we're. I mean, we are like. It's almost. It's been like a month. No. It's been almost a week.
Almost a month, guys.
Right. Okay. Here we go. We're just gonna talk about it. There's not much to spoil, but yeah, spoiler alert if you haven't done it yet. He just sort of plops into our world with his car, by the way. Which, here's the thing: they made this clever thing in 15 where he's like teleported away and then he just randomly appears again. It's like, was that a dream? And that's so whatever the dream was is what happened in 14, right? His car didn't go with him. I think. Why would his car go with him? He was alone when he disappeared.
Well, no, because the Garuda sends him.
Yeah, but Garuda's like, he needs his car. Was that?
Well, yeah.
Can't have Noctis wandering around without his fucking car.
He can't. He's fucking slow as fuck. So he's like, I need my car. I can't.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. His car is broken. It doesn't work. Broke down.
It's like the start of 15.
Yeah, and you have to push it. I was hoping
then, they would have done the Stand By Me song or something. That would.
There's no way they had the rights to play that.
I know, but it would have been kind of cute.
They did play the Hammerhead.
Hammerhead, yeah. Yeah. There's a couple songs from it.
Yeah.
No quest song. Like when you pick up a quest, there's no unique.
No. But in 15 it just makes like a sound, doesn't it? Or a ching sound. It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't have the same gravitas as a fanfare. But yeah, it breaks down, and this is where they've made some creative choices here that I don't quite understand. So they're stuck in Central Thanalan.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the car is broken down, and you're pushing it, and there just so happens to be people from Garland Ironworks at the Coffer and Coffin. And they're like, whoa! And Sid is around too for some reason.
He's in his old outfit too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it's a Realm Reborn.
Yeah, that's true.
Supposed to be so.
But it's
I mean, I guess people there had already been like rumors of this machine going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They may have been looking for it.
There was this Magitech shit that was happening around the Central Thanalan, so that's why that happened. I didn't skip the text. Let me relax. Jesus Christ.
Stop trying to have fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell this chronologically. And then you meet Sid and the Garland Ironworks team, and of course they run all over that car. And that's I forgot about the fucking reporter at the beginning. That's sort of where this quest starts, doesn't it?
She just says there's some dude with a car.
Yeah, that's sort of where you learn this. That there's this dude with a car.
She has a unique text if you've done the lightning event, which I haven't.
Yeah, she did reference the lightning event.
Yeah.
Really? What did she say exactly? I didn't do the lightning event.
It's something like, "Oh, you're the person who helped me with the Lady Night Lightning last time."
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to the quest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing big.
Yeah. So I feel like she was kind of. She is in the quest, but whenever she pops up, she's like, she doesn't really have anything to do with the story. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do an interview." Well, she learns about his fiance and stuff, but she's just there to like give us some extra lore about Noctis, I guess, because no one else is asking him questions. They fix his car. What's happened? And then you have to go. Then they talk about the Magitech shit that's appearing. The Magitech soldiers from Niflheim.
The MTs.
MTs with real ass guns.
Yeah.
Those are just guns.
Or Magitech armor.
Yeah.
They did some new animations for him though.
They did.
Cool.
And they brought in one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or they just reused Animation 15, but still, like they put in more to make it look
good.
Yeah.
That fight was a bit of a mess.
A little bit. A little crowded.
They had to put the big one in so you could even get rewarded.
That's why the big one is there, isn't it? So once you do that, you get some Magitech bits.
2 per gold on the fate.
So you just have to do them 3 times to get all the orchestrion rolls.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Yeah. You repair the car. No, you don't.
No, that's right. Towards the end.
God, I've completely forgotten the order in which things are happening.
That's towards the end where Sid comes back with the cars that's fixed.
She takes him off to Uldar to have an interview, and then you go to Gridania for some reason.
Yes, you go to Gridania.
I think there's rumors of more MTs.
Rumors of more MTs near Gridania. You go to Gridania.
And then
he goes fishing at one point.
You go... No, yeah. He goes fishing. It's like, "Oh, I'm really, really busy, guys. I have to get back to my world. I'm just gonna fish." There's a funny moment where he's like taking a picture of you, and your character is like, "What?"
Oh yeah.
You can say, "What the fuck's a picture?"
Yeah, I said that too. I'm like, "Well, I don't know what a camera is." But yeah, you go to East. Which shroud?
Yeah, it's near east. It's near
Bramble Patch.
The entrance to the Moogle.
Yeah.
Like,
you fight. That's where you fight the demon.
You fight a demon.
A void scent, yeah.
A demon? No, it's not a void scent. Well, I guess it would be. If an Aorsian had to classify him, it would be a void scent. And that fight was whatever.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, it had some mechanics.
It had some mechanics.
It had unique animations on some of the spells. Like
it did.
It was good.
It was alright.
Or like Shadowbringers or something.
Yeah, probably.
I made a big mistake on that fight. I was accidentally still on Paladin, and Noctis almost died because I couldn't heal him.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I heard that so much. Are people actually having trouble with Noctis dying a lot in both the trial
fights? If you can't heal him, then yeah.
Oh.
He just runs into all the mechanics. He had no AI.
Yeah, I had no problem. I'm a white mage, so I just kept him topped off. So
I just DPS'd him. I didn't. I mean, not Noctis.
Yeah.
the enemies, and he didn't. He got a little low, but he didn't die.
Yeah, but the fight mechanics in itself, they weren't crazy.
There weren't many.
No.
Like
not the first one.
It had towers, and it had some,
The towers were kind of strict.
Yeah, they were.
I missed a few of those because he just spawns them without any real message or anything, and then
you just have to look around for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, have we skipped the fucking camp thing? Is that before?
That's after the camp,
okay.
Isn't it? After you fight the demon.
After you fight the demon, then you set up camp.
You hang out.
He makes you
like,
some roll rice.
Some jelly donuts.
Jelly donuts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I love the fact that someone pointed out that there's ketchup on the table. There's like branded ketchup on the table.
Really? Was there?
Yeah, in an Eorzean font. So that exists. That is lore.
I was hoping we'd get like the advertisements too, like with Cup Ramen. And Coleman Grills.
Yeah. But I like that little scene. I like the like he talks to us more than like we talk back as well. Like we actually talk to Noctis here, which is weird. I've never seen my character speak. I mean, it's just lips moving with no sound, but it happened a lot in this quest, which it was nice. Made my character feel a little more real.
It's like your buddies.
Yeah, it was like your buddies. It's a shame he wasn't voice acted.
Yeah.
The 15 one was voice acted though. It's kind of
15's got a bit of a bigger budget than this one.
Yeah.
But then we hear that the Ixal. I'm sure there's something in between here.
The Magitech troopers were rushing to the Ixal in Natalan, I guess it was, or something like that.
Yes.
And to counter them, they tried to summon Garuda.
But
we have to remember.
It turns out when you arrive that they are terrified because they don't know what this is, because that's it kind of looks like Garuda. Is it still
Where's
Garuda?
The boobs?
Where are the boobs? But instead we get this other thing that has the torso of a man and is not Garuda. It's the Garuda they made for 15 for that crossover event. And here's where things really get interesting, because you get to warp strike in this fight.
So cool.
It was really fun. I like warp striking.
Yeah. It's I was surprised by how quick it worked. It felt so refreshing that I'm playing 14 and I'm actually warp striking, and there was even like a link strike or whatever they call it. The
link strike and the actual 15 text and everything pops up when you do a link strike. It's really cool.
Yeah. That was fun, and the fight itself had a few. There was like the one active time maneuver in there.
Oh,
which,
the wind thing.
Yeah.
Get trapped.
It was a fun fight.
Very good fight.
Yeah,
it was really good.
And
so
for an event especially,
I don't know if it was just my client, because I did it twice on both my characters. When you get out of the wind, right, and Noctis does his fancy animation with you, and you're like both like link striking and hitting him and all that. It looks really cool, but there's no sound.
I don't remember.
I don't know if it was just my client, or something bugged out or something. But when he's switching the weapons and doing all his fancy moves, he uses the Astrologian weapon, and then he does the Dark Knight leap and all that stuff. There, like, the sound was really. I didn't hear anything. There was like no feedback for it.
I could have sworn I heard it. I because there's even like a cutscene where he, in the fight, where he.
Oh, it's based on battle effects.
Oh, that's why.
Right, I had those. Okay, well, I guess heads up if you're doing it with battle effects turned or limited.
Yeah.
It's a lot weaker.
Yeah.
it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's a PSA. Turn battle effects up before you do that fight. And then, as you do that, the car has been fixed. Sid and the Garland Ironworks people... No, actually, it's just Sid and the reporter. They just come driving in on the Regalia. And... that's it. Garuda. The weird Garuda thing is like, it was me.
It was a test.
It was me all along. I'm gonna open a portal and send you home because you still have shit to do. And he gets into his car and off he goes. And then
wait. So he sees Luna Frey in the light, right? He's in the car. He's in the car, and he looks towards the light, and there's Luna Frey, and she's like, you see like her faintly or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Noctis, and he's in the car, and he's like just grinning, and then he floors it.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's just going to run over Luna Frey.
I thought about that too.
And it was just so funny.
Yeah. And then the portal closes and it's gone. And there's like this moment at the end where she's like, "Oh, I hope they reunite with the fiance." That. That's the story, roughly.
Yep,
roughly.
Spoilers over.
Yeah.
What do you think about the car?
I think it's exactly what we expected. It's a real ass car in a fantasy game.
God, it's so bad.
A little silly, but there's something kind of like funny about it that makes me like it, because it's just a car. It doesn't fit. It clips into everything as you move. You can like balance it on things where it doesn't make any sense. But you can ride it with your friends, and they have different animations when you do that, and that's really fun and cute.
I have a friend from work who plays this sort of on-off, and then I introduced someone over the weekend to it who I used to play games with. Both of them, they don't know each other, have come to me and gone, "Dude, I just see someone in the Batmobile." Brilliant. That's what this game is now. That's new player experience.
Yes.
So bad.
Yes.
It's so funny though. It's just you see so many cars all over the place.
It is on the day it launched, it was mayhem. Cars were in odd angles all over Eorzea. Like they clip through terrain. Because the thing is, the car is actually just this little box that your character is in. The rest is just not for what the client doesn't register. It doesn't register anything. So you can just drive like half your car through a fence, and the way it detects terrain, like it's a big ass car. So when there's like a tiny little rock on the road, it'll go boom. It'll go right through the terrain. I don't hate the car. Okay. I don't hate the car. It's funny.
It is funny.
I'm a little torn on the fact that it's the first 4-man mount. I feel like
a precedent.
Yeah.
That we can have 4-person mounts, and the next one could very well be like a chocobo carriage or something lore friendly, and then we can all switch to that, and we can all forget about the car.
Mm-hmm.
The next one will probably be a Mock Station one, to be honest.
Probably $40, $50.
As long as the next one's not like a freight train or an actual aeroplane or something like a Boeing 747.
Yeah, it's gonna be a mag train, like a bullet train.
Oh hell yeah! Oh hell yeah! There's like
But it goes at slow speed.
we do. I mean, Mile and I at least do like the animation of it flying when it starts flying.
The transformation thing's really cool.
Yeah. A lot of effort put into the mount.
And when it's flying, from below, it kind of looks like a Magitech ship, I think.
Yeah.
If you don't look at the top part, it's tolerable.
Yeah.
It is kind of a shame that the top doesn't come down or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it look more,
when you're underwater, especially, it's a little weird. But
your leather gets all wet in the water. Come on.
Don't want wet leather.
Oh, it has drink holders, by the way. Did you notice that? If you look at the comp, like where the gear ship
made it worse, Ron.
There's cup holders.
Wow. I didn't really want to look too far into, I didn't want to look too closely, because I'd be like, that would bug me. Like, they have speedometers, they have a radio, like there's stuff there that shouldn't exist in our world. But yeah, it's fine. And I'm sure when we get more 4-man mounts, The regalia is just going to be something it's just going to be an oddity. People are going to be like, remember that car? I'm gonna look at this ugly fucking mount, and we'll like, and then we'll move on.
I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's not that bad. It's gonna be bad when people start modding it to a police car, though.
Hey, we're waiting for our friend to do
Don't
that. They
stop.
said, I'm waiting. Make it happen, please.
See, the one positive about mods is I don't have to see them on
That's
my
true.
phone.
No. As soon as that comes out, I'm gonna install it. I'm gonna post unsolicited pictures of it in the speakers chat every time.
You're off the show.
Evil. That's evil.
I will make you look at it.
It's also gonna be we're gonna know that mod exists. So every time I see a car after the mod has come out, I'll be like, there's like a 50% chance this is actually a police car.
and you know what? On the hood of the car, there's gonna be a logo. It's gonna say EPD, Eorzean Police Department.
No.
And I'm gonna pull over and say, get the fuck out the car, EPD.
No.
Get down on the ground.
Right, so overall thoughts about this event. I guess the only one we can really compare it to is the 13 event. That's the only Final Fantasy event we've had, right? Did you do the 13 event, Mala? No, nope. You didn't.
I remember when I was playing and it was like, Lightning Returns. I was like, what does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Right.
I don't know what that means.
The 11 event. Sorry, there's the 11 event too. The Shantaro Big and the Rhapsody Savannah deal.
Who cares about 11?
How fucking dare you? In my presence. This event feels like it was more fleshed out. I think with the exception of Rhapsody Savannah deal, which had a little bit more story, which was tied to like the actual event going on in 11. But because we had like 2 instance duties, solo duties too, by the way. And the story is, it wasn't really
fluff.
Yeah, it was just fluff. It didn't really go anywhere.
It was nice to be like 15, I guess.
Yeah. But I did like the outfit.
Yeah.
The outfit is really nice.
The outfit's good.
Yeah.
I guess having some 15 music doesn't matter. It's nice to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, 15 has some good tracks, so it's nice to have them in game. And the what was I gonna say? The 13 event was just Fates, I believe. Because
I'm glad this one wasn't just Fates.
Yeah. When I first saw the Fate, though, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's gonna be a Fate farm, and it was, but you only had to do like 3, and
it's really easy too.
Super fast.
Yeah. I think this is probably the best one.
Out of the Final Fantasy
crossovers, yeah.
You got some nice stuff. We got a 4-man car mount.
Yeah.
That's still really wild. They just gave it out for free.
Actually, it's ridiculous, Rollo, because think about all the 2-person mounts in this game that you have to pay.
Yeah.
They're all paid.
Almost all of them are Mog Station. Or the only one's the Mentor one, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's the Mentor one. There's the Refer a Friend one.
Refer a Friend.
Refer a Friend.
For the
draft. Yeah. The Amber and
yeah.
2 ways.
There are actually 2. There are 2 mounts that you can get for
there's the Amber
Recruit a
one
Friend.
and the normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, God.
The outfit dies really nicely, by the way. I expected it to be look really bad, but
yeah, it seems
the colors look good.
It almost feels like it's got more higher res textures than. There's something about the shading of it just feels very high quality. This outfit. Don't zoom too closely though. I don't mean like it's not like 4K textures.
200 kmgp is nothing.
That is so easy, guys. Do cheap. Fashion report. Just that will give you about a quarter of what you need, and you can do that once a week, and then just do some
challenge lock.
There were already fucking guides on Reddit on how to farm MGP.
That one person, what's the name? Kayoko. They made a full the
is that the chart?
Person.
Yeah.
That person, Kayoko Star. That's their name.
Kayoko Star.
Thank you for that guide.
Shout out.
Shout outs.
Yeah. It's not that. Just do stuff and you'll get it. It's not that hard. And that comes from me, by the way.
The person who barely does any gold saucer stuff and hates it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's is that the final word on the 15 event? Anything you want to say before I move on? No?
No.
It was fun.
I like
the music.
Is this the best crossover event for any Final Fantasy event so far? Yay or nay? Aye or no?
I got nothing to base it on.
Vanadil, that stuff was.
Oh, I did one of those actually. I think.
Pretty good. I'd say this is better. I'll say it's better.
Yeah, it's better than I vaguely remember the 11 one. The 11 one. It was rubbish.
Okay.
Okay. That was nonsense. I don't actually remember it at all.
Okay.
But yeah, this one.
Okay. The eyes have it.
Eyes left, whatever.
There you go. Okay. That's our official stance. It's the best. See, that's a reference to our original idea for the podcast. Okay, let's move on to our next story, which is the interview with Naoki Yoshida about Tsukuyomi. This is by, what was it again?
PC Gamer N.
PC Gamer N. It's an interesting interview where they talk more just specifically about just Tsukuyomi and how, because that is, I mean, it is the flagship battle for Stormblood. It has become, at least, that, even though technically it should be the no, this should be the one.
Yeah, it's just like how not Midgard Summer, sorry.
Nidhogg.
Nidhogg was, well, Final Steps of Faith, at least, was
Final Steps of Faith,
yeah.
The big fight for Heaven's Word.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read some of this interview, and then we'll discuss as we go along here. Fantastical MMORPG worlds are filled with wondrous places to visit, but when it comes down to endgame raiding, a lot of time is spent staring at some giant's ankles.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. While there's little else that can match the relief and elation of finally downing a towering raid boss 100 times your size, the thrill of the hunt can dull if it's just yet another gargantuan beast you're cutting down to size. The Final Fantasy XIV team has shown it has grander ambitions for its boss designs. Not only are their encounters audiovisual treats full of delirious special effects, they also have clever and challenging mechanics weaved in that elevate them beyond simple tank and spank slogs. They aren't just a gauntlet of lengthy health bars to chip away at until the target topples over. They're complex, multi-part ordeals. That's pretty true. Right. Yeah. A lot of people that have never played 14 and do trials for the first time are pretty wowed by it. Like, no pun intended. They're like it's a very cinematic fight.
Yeah. I think usually if I want someone to play the game, every time I go into a new fight, I'll think, is this the one I'd show them? And, most of them are really cool to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I show like the Thornton fight to people, and they still lose their minds.
Yeah, that's a good one. The just even thinking back myself to like the first time the you see the planet in the background, and then the fucking screen shatters.
That was good. Yeah.
It's
boring fights though, like Byakko. The falling down thing is so unique and interesting that people think, oh, that's a cool mechanic to have in a game.
Yeah. That's true. Like even the older ones, I mean, the older ones were, compared to what we have today, they're a little lacking. Titan is still somewhat of a interesting fight for players.
Well, you have Shiva still in Ultima, which are still some of the best looking ones.
That's true.
Shiva especially, when she does the little ice thing and she clacks her heel. It looks cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Of all the raid bosses in the game, there's one that stands head and shoulders above the rest. It's the fight that concludes. it's the fight that concludes a significant chapter of the Stormblood expansion storyline. One lauded by players for how it combines story, mechanics, and music to make for an incredible whole. To understand why the encounter with Tsukuyomi has had such a resonating effect, it's important to lay out the context. Naturally, there are spoilers for Stormblood, and its updates below. So spoiler alert again for Stormblood this time.
Head and shoulders above it.
What are you on about, head and shoulders?
It just seems, head and shoulders above every other fight in the game.
Well,
I think they put a lot of work into it.
It's a very nice fight. Like the colors and stuff. Just the colors alone in like the second phase, they were like
when it goes all like autumnal.
Yeah, in a game that has what I call the mud filter, it is very
that's true.
refreshing when everything is like so vibrant as it is in that one.
You gotta admit too, like knowing what happens. I mean, like going through the story and then seeing the suffering meter come up and Gosetsu dash in to fight Xena. That's like, come on.
Yeah.
That gives you a little bit of goosebumps.
It does, Yotsuyu is one of the main antagonists in the Stormblood storyline. For the majority of the game, she's the tyrannical ruler of the region called Doma, which players venture to in order to free it from the Garlean Empire. Yotsuyu's hatred of the kingdom is fueled by how poorly it treated her in her younger years. She lures players to Doma Castle so she can collapse it and kill everyone inside. However, everyone escapes except for Yotsuyu and a player ally called Gosetsu. It's this incident that causes Yotsuyu to lose her memories. Gosetsu nurses her back to health on a nearby island, and they return to the player's group. The new Yotsuyu is a kind person, innocent even, but she eventually gets her memories back. At this point, she finds herself conflicted between the person she is now and the atrocities she both experienced and committed in the past. She's able to see both sides, director and producer Naoki Yoshida tells me. And being able to get that across was very important for us. We wanted to get across that story within the battle as well. And they do. I mean, it is... we briefly touched on the suffering meter. But that is a really nice... They sort of... You haven't really thought about it, but yeah, they do tell her backstory kind of in the fight.
Yeah, you see her parents, her adopted parents, come in to abuse her. You see the Garleans that she served come into. You see Asahi come in and fucking berate her, and then Xenos comes in too, and he's like, "Oh, you fucking suck, loser."
Which is something we haven't really seen before, storytelling in a trial. Other than like, no, because you don't really see it in the Nidhogg fight. That's just, we're fighting Estinian as, well, spoilers for Heavensward, I guess.
Wow.
As
tons of spoilers
Nidhogg.
Today.
This is clearly a spoiler cast now. I think this is the first time we see like a proper one where the pieces sort of fall into place, kind of, with her character. The climatic battle between Yotsuyu and players sees the former ruler succumbing to her inner turmoil and morphing into a magical being, or primal, named Tsukuyomi. Final Fantasy XIV players have encountered many similar beasts in the past, but this one is visibly charged with the theme of the scenario. We started with her two sides, the new moon, the dark side, and the full moon, the bright side. Having that as the focus for the battle, and then bringing out her inner conflict within the battle, Yoshida explains. Sorry, wrong intonation. That duality is clearly represented in her design, with the skin on the left side of her body appearing pale, while the skin on the right is much darker. As for the fight itself, it has 3 different phases, forcing players to employ different strategies as they adapt to different mechanics on the way to victory. The first is a fairly comfortable introduction, a few moves to dodge, and group-wide blasts of damage to heal through. But the second phase is perhaps the most overt in bringing out that internal conflict within Yotsuyu. and this is the one we talked about. It starts when she collapses in the middle of the arena and is assailed by an array of ghostly figures from her past. These specters include figments of the villagers she's wronged in the past, as well as the parents who mistreated and abandoned her as a child. Players must work together to draw together these enemies and defeat them within a specified time limit before Yatsuyu's suffering reaches a critical level and wipes out the entire party. So that sums up the fight, basically.
Yeah.
Who made this fight? Do we know if Do we know if Ozma or Atma didn't do this? Did Mr. Ozma do this one, or is this?
Mr. Atma was busy with Eureka most of the time, wasn't he?
Yes, I guess he was. Yeah. I don't think we might not know who made this. This might just be some anonymous team member.
Good job, whoever it was.
Yeah, good job. During our chat, Yoshida jokes about a friendly rivalry between newcomers and veterans of the battle planning team.
Oh, I think that's where they say it.
The intern,
I think that's where they say who does it.
Yeah. Each tries to improve upon what the others has created before when designing encounters, which has led to some bold and adventurous raid boss designs. Hopefully that competition sparks many more battles like this in the future. So there you go. That's what it was. That was also the battle team's idea. They wanted to do it, Yoshida says. But when I first wrote that idea, I was thinking, okay, so you want to bring out Yatsuyu's parents? You've got this old guy and this old lady. So you have to come up to them with your with your axe and just start swinging your axe at them? I don't know if the players are going to want to do that.
I'll fuck up this old man. Watch out.
Sure, it may have a touch of the ridiculous to it, and is essentially a time-restricted burn face that countless raid bosses have featured in the past, but the reasoning surrounding it is what makes it effective. That feeling is multiplied in the final part of the face when the specter of the Garlean ruler Xenos appears with one final attempt to crush her spirit. Swooping in at the same time, however, is the spirit of Gozetsu, a force of good that has shown Yatsuyu the compassion and kindness that she lacks in her life. The two dramatically clash over Yatsuyu, and so players must rush in to assist by defeating the final specter of Xenos to free her.
They make it sound so, good.
What do you mean?
Must rush in to assist.
You must rush in because the meter
is
still...
Tab 2.
It's what happens. I mean, yeah,
it's interesting to read it because you don't think about this.
So cool
because this is what's happening in the fight.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, it's different when you're playing it, kind of, in a way. One of the reasons this fight may have resonated so well is because players feel directly involved with the outcome of the story. Final Fantasy XIV's consistently strong writing has made Yatsuyu's plight engaging in cutscenes. But in the encounter with Tsukuyomi, you watch it develop right in front of you. Then the Final Fantasy XIV team skillfully repurposed classic MMO boss mechanics to emphasize the player's part in the story further. For once, it's them fighting for her psyche, them trying to eliminate the negative thoughts. Helping to heighten the drama of the encounter is the work of Final Fantasy XIV's composer, Masayoshi Soken, and his gorgeous and absorbing score, Tsukuyomi's theme. On a number of times when attempting to clear the harder extreme versions of this trial, my party members had been heard humming the twinkle of piano keys as the fight transitions into the third and final phase. That was I'm still not entirely... Remember it won that contest about the best track in 14? I'm still not sure.
I mean,
that was like
if it was just recency
choice.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about recency bias then.
Yeah.
But this theme might actually be growing on me again. So
it's still a really good theme. That piano thing with the suffering stuff, it's like it really gets you going.
Yeah.
It's super good.
Yeah. Sorry, that's Wayward. So this is the first part. Is it Tsukuyomi's theme? Is that just the instrumental part?
Yeah.
Or the
No, well, he talked about the piano bits, and that's the second phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When Yotsu appears during Phase 2 and Phase 3, we started with the themes from Doma and Yangzhou, Soken says. We actually took the chord from a different part of each song. It's just the melody that's a bit different. So what we wanted to express is that side she shows and the side that is hidden from other people. We wanted it to depict the two sides of her. Yoshida, that's clever. That's why they used those two. See, this fight is pretty...
It's very deep.
There's a lot into it. Like, you can analyze a lot from it.
Yeah.
I feel like they probably put quite a large amount of effort into these story fights anyway. It's just this one's really just hit the mark.
Yeah. Yoshida has nothing but the highest praise for his musical collaborator, who he says spends time speaking to the scenario writers and the battle planners to get a complete understanding of the fight he's composing for. Though it seems the feedback he gets is easy to sum up. The sort of common phrase that they use is magnificent and dramatic, Soken says. They say, I did it before, but now it needs to be more dramatic and more magnificent. Can you do that? That's like, what an order.
He delivers, though.
He does. He always delivers. Those two adjectives could absolutely sum up the final phase of the fight. The arena shifts from a mechanized exterior into a beautiful autumnal field, leaves falling from the sky while a blood moon shines brightly. Mechanically, the fight develops further too, as players must balance a light and dark debuff on themselves to counter the expanding light or dark sections that spread across the arena floor. And so players not only have an interesting battle mechanic to get to grips with, they're struggling to stabilize two opposing forces, just as Yotsu has been. It's clear that Final Fantasy XIV's creators are extremely proud of how the fight came together. When I did my final check, getting to see this marriage of the scenario, battle, and sound, I felt that it was very fitting for her. A very unfortunate character to have this type of final curtain call, Yoshida says. It was a very fitting place for her. It's a very fitting place for her to have a battle in. I think that's supposed to say. It's going to be very difficult to try to make something that's going to top that.
Yeah. I agree.
I think Yotsuyu, although I didn't like Yotsuyu, and because I thought they kind of...
But do you not personally like her, or do you think she's a bad character?
At first, I thought she was a bad character in the beginning, because I thought I could see where it was going initially.
Right.
But then they didn't go that way. So she grew on me at the end, and I think that made it so much better when I realized that, oh fuck, okay, that's it then. She's going, because now she had that whole weird thing with Gesetsu
stuff,
nursing.
Boy, am I glad they didn't end up in a romantic thing, by the way. That would have been really creepy. Yeah. But I'm glad they shot it down in the story. Yeah. They're like, no, he just actually wants to take care of her.
Yeah. And of course, the sad when Gesetsu, because I think Gesetsu comes in at the end, doesn't he? Sees her dead on the floor. It was, and she killed Asahi. There was a lot of good stuff at the end as well. Some stuff was resolved, and we knew she was gonna die eventually. I mean, she was she was insane, so something was gonna happen to her, and she went out with one of the best fights probably in the game, visually anyways, and symbolically. So much symbolism in this fight. So that's it. That's the interview with Yoshi-P about Tsukuyomi, the fight.
Pretty informative. I'd love to hear more about like some other stuff that's gotten into fights, like Thornton or some of the Alex fights, just like thematically what they had in their mind.
Like Thornton would be very interesting to hear about, because that was like the first fight where they experimented with the face transition thing, where because that would evolve, because like the smashing window is nothing now, because we've had like fucking remember what's her name, the snake lady, the trial with the snake.
Lakshmi?
Lakshmi.
Yeah.
There was and Suravan, and yeah, there are a lot of crazy face transitions now. Right, let's move on then to our review of Stormblood. Post Stormblood review. Yes, Rollo?
I guess just to get this out the way, because people are saying it.
Let's talk about the Vieira thing. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they posted a preview of it. We didn't put in the notes.
There is there's a tiny preview picture. It shows just the section of the character creator where you can like put on face details.
Yeah.
We'll get that soon though. The benchmark. It should be out in May, wasn't it?
Mid-May something.
Yeah.
Yep.
So about a month from now, we'll have our hands on it.
You can have a beauty mark. That's good. I love beauty marks.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the review. In this part, we're going to talk about the world of Stormblood. So specifically the areas and the dungeons. Which is a pretty big topic, so we might have to split this in two, but we'll see how much time we spend on this. I think we'll start with the areas. Just want to say that I know I've said that Heavensward is probably better than Stormblood in many points. I was not a big fan of Heavensward's areas because first of all, I'm not a big fan of snow maps. And for some reason, Dravania is just brown. Like everything is just like this. I don't know. It lacked color for me, which is why Stormblood's areas, well, Gurabania, isn't exactly a splash of color, but the Althardian areas are way more colorful than the drab Heavensward areas, in my opinion.
Well, you had some colorful areas like Mogholm and such.
No, because they still had this weird like.
No, Churning Mist is the worst example.
Yeah,
Really?
Churning Mist had like this weird like gray filter.
It was all brown with big purple rocks.
And if there was color, it was like grayed out. It was like it was desaturated. And I think it's
even
because
the ultra colourful zone Azis La isn't even that nice to look at.
No,
I like Azis La, by the way.
No, I love it.
It's by far one of the better ones in Heavensward.
I don't like looking at it though.
No. Yeah, it's. I think that it's because they went for like an aesthetic with Heavensward. It was going to be a little like depressing and gloomy. Yeah.
Close up, most of the Heavensward zones are okay, but when you're flying, it really shows how ugly they are.
Yeah. Too open and too empty.
So empty.
I was not a fan of a lot of the floating rocks.
Oh yeah, everything was a floating
fucking sea of clouds. I want to
That's
vomit.
the worst area.
It
has color, but
Sea of Clouds is one of the only ones that's nice color. So.
But it's got a disgusting layout. I hate it.
I hate navigating that place.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it on foot? Ugh.
I had to. You have to at one point.
Yeah, I know, but I can't anymore, Rollo. I can't remember it.
It's terrible.
Yeah. But we're not supposed to talk about Heavensward. Let's talk about Stormblood's areas. Let's start with the fringes, which is the first area we get to in Stormblood.
Okay. Yeah.
We get past the gate in East Shroud. And we're in the East End. We're East Enders. And we're in that's a castrum. It's an old castrum, isn't it?
It's an old castrum, yeah.
Yeah. I like
we've repurposed.
I like what they did. I like that because usually what I would expect them to do is that they would just thrust us into the desert that is Girabania, but instead they let us in at a point where the shroud overlaps.
Yeah.
With Girabania.
You get the swamp thing too. In the southwestern part.
Dimworld. I loved Dimworld.
Yeah.
I like the swamp because we haven't had like an actual good swamp in this game.
Love a good swamp.
I love me a good marshland. You know.
I know what you mean, Ronald.
Yeah. There's also like really interesting lore in that area, like about Black Rose.
About Black Rose.
Yeah.
And that the abandoned, wasn't it like a prison camp thing?
Oh,
In the huts, and they had to they tried to destroy it all so no one would know.
Yeah.
It's really dark.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a big fan of the bridge too, like repurposing Garly and stuff. I mean, that was more of a Beast Tribe thing, but still just having it there.
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah,
like, I love it.
And
it has that big river down the middle just to make it even less boring.
Yeah,
Just does it. So there's,
and I think it was really clever to use again the shroud thing, because it made it easier to accept that this is part of Eorzea. Like, we're not just in this weird new zone they added. This is like legit. And it also adds a little more color to what would otherwise be pretty dull.
My biggest fear was that it would just look like Thanalan or something like that.
Yeah, but it was quite for a desert, it's quite a pleasing tone.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of like pale, nice flowers everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And
what did you think of the music for it?
I liked it. To me, it's got this weird. It's already this weird nostalgia to me, because it reminds me of the queue.
The queue.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Raubon Extreme. It reminds me of when we were standing in the queue, and we tried to convince everyone the queue worked, and this music.
The queue works.
Yeah.
The queue works.
The queue does work.
The queue did work. No, it didn't.
It has a very comfy sound to it.
Yeah.
Like a very like rustic kind of.
Can we let's listen to the fringes real quick.
Just a little bit.
Okay, let's see here.
Seeing Baelsar's Wall too, just like
you could see Baelsar's Wall.
That was really cool as well.
Yeah,
seeing that run along.
And just little things.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's the fringes. It also doesn't. It also, just like the way that the shroud blends into Girabania, it sort of sounds like Eorzean meets Girabanian, if you know what I mean. Like, it's like, I mean, Girabania is technically a part of Eorzea, but not when we play the game. Like, at this point, it's this foreign land almost. So again, it just sort of helped. I think they put a lot of emphasis on that to make us understand that this is actually something that belongs. This is Eorzea that you're seeing, but we kind of lost it at some point.
it's like coming back home.
Yeah,
almost,
it is.
kind of
Yeah.
The night theme of this is really nice too. The night themes in Stormblood have mostly been like kind of sleepy time piano themes.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Oh, it is very nice.
They are good.
It does also pull the nostalgia strings already, which is very strange, because there's no reason for me to be nostalgic. This is the current expansion.
Well, this zone for sure, though.
Yeah,
it feels so long ago.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so that's definitely a zone that I kind of liked. I like that. And again, I don't like snow maps and I don't like desert maps traditionally, but this one I like because it has that mix. And it kind of, I like it.
Yeah, and you had the cool Nanta hanging out there, and the Mikote tribe up in the rock.
Yeah.
It was a nice varied zone with some nice NPC placements.
Yeah.
Good music, nice river, swamp, dead trees, diseased trees. 10 out of 10.
It was very well laid. All the Stormblood zones were very well laid out in terms of level as well.
They were.
Like, it wasn't one zone for level 50 to 60 to 62 or whatever.
Yeah, and they didn't feel as empty as the Heavensward ones were, just in general. Because in again, sorry to drag Heavensward back up, but what I feel like they did wrong is that they were like, oh, we're gonna make them, because they knew that we were used to the smaller Realm Reborn zones. So they thought, let's just fucking make it 10 times bigger than a Realm Reborn map, and they'll be fucking wowed by the size. But then they kind of forgot that they need to put stuff in there that's interesting to look at, not just like fallen over trees and a rock every now and then, which is what I feel like they did in the Heavensward maps.
I feel like when you fly up to the top of like the fringes, and you look at it from from the top. You get this cool, nice variation in all this landscape. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you do it in Western Highlands and you fly up,
Yeah.
it's mostly just this blanket of snow with like a few buildings dotted here and there, which I get. That's the kind of thing they're going for, that kind of somber loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's cooler to have all these interesting little landmarks.
Yeah.
That you see in the fringes.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It also feels more lived in. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it feel. I buy it. I buy the illusion that this is people live here. Let's just move on to the other part of Girabania, the peaks, which is the second zone you encounter in the game.
I feel like this is the weaker zone for me.
This
out
is
of all of them.
Do you know what, Roller? I kind of agreed with you, but having recently been there and just had a little look around, there's so much that I like about it. Like the mountains with their like very stylized look, and I don't know, it's better than I remember it being.
It's got some good stuff in it. I like the arc.
It has, again, to me, it's not what I thought it would be. It's not just an empty desert. It has green areas, and it's got like this upside down pyramid.
The
ziggurat, and there's like this. Is it a beast tribe area? There's like this area with like flying rocks or whatever. Floating rocks.
That's below the castrum. That's not a beast tribe area.
No,
but
it's just sorry, it's just.
And that's the bit with. Is this the one with Yunkrep's arc in it as well?
Yes. That's
just like so random to see it there.
I'm still surprised it didn't play into any kind of side story at all.
No,
Did it
no major side story. That was a little disappointing.
Well, it's mentioned in the MSQ.
Yeah. But it's Yunkrep.
Remember, we used to think that would be a dungeon.
That's true.
On the podcast, that was brought up as a potential dungeon area because it's so visible, but it's just a landmark. That's all it is.
I like the red rocks. I'm glad they're not just like.
Sorry.
I'm glad they're not just like tan, desert.
Yeah.
It's like it reminds me of like a kind of like the mesas in like in the southwest of America, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's listen to the theme for the peaks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's this one, right? This is almost feels like what?
The plant food comes in a little bit too, and
there we go.
Nice.
It for some reason I'm getting like some sort of like Nintendo 64 RPG, like Zelda almost vibe from this song or theme. But yeah, it's here he comes. Oh, here's the part. No, shit. We have to wait. Hold on.
Waiting for the
yeah.
So I guess I was wrong.
Here we go. Riveting. No shit. No, we have to wait.
Any second now.
Any second. Here we go. I think this is it. This is surely. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is this a bagpipe or is this a violin? This is a violin, right?
I'm not sure what kind of instrument this is.
I think that's a violin. I don't know why I said bagpipe.
Yeah, it does sound like a string instrument.
Magical.
I kind of,
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. But again,
it's not the catchiest of songs.
It's not.
Nighttime theme's nice too. Again with the piano thing for sleepy time.
Almost all the night themes are just the theme, but in piano.
Yeah, for the most
piano
part.
cover, which is fine. It's nice.
Yeah.
It gives you that nighttime vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have as much to say about this area, though. Honestly.
No, it's kind of. It's not
divided.
bad, but it's just it's okay.
Yeah. I like that there's like people dotted around, and they have like the houses. They lived inside the little wall near the
yes
the masonry stuff.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
That felt was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The little Garlean slave out where the people live, I guess, too, in the southern part. Also pretty nice.
Yeah.
The big guard. Also, just Garland Outpost too was cool.
I like that one Aetheryte place, the camp, with the crystal that sort of just comes out and swings around at the top.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was a nice one.
Yeah, I like that
cool.
one.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Ziggurat's
Ziggurat's cool too, obviously.
It's very cool, yeah. Aligiri is the name of that place, yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic of that swirly crystal. Okay. Then we go to Althard and the Ruby Sea.
Are we going to talk about Kagane first, or are we going to just go...
Oh, Kagane. I forgot to put Kagane on there. Let's talk about Kagane first. Yeah. Right. So, the first city-state, and the only city-state that we got in this expansion, technically. Let's just play the theme while we talk about it. Why
sure.
not?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Right. There we go. The biggest city-state, because it's one zone, and they remember when they teased Kagane, they were like, oh, it's the biggest city-state in the game, and you can like jump from all the roofs in this city. You can jump on them. You can jump on all of them.
Yeah.
And you can. There's even a jumping puzzle.
Yeah. One way to kill time if you're queuing up for something.
Yeah.
Well, not that fun.
Well, something to hop around and do.
Yeah. To me, the design of Kagane is amazing. So it's the attention to detail here is incredible. There's like stuff to look at everywhere. The only problem I have with it is it's kind of busy. It's like there's like it's difficult to get around because the streets are like stuff. You just unlock the Aetherites, obviously, but I feel like stuff is too spread around sometimes, especially if you're doing quests in Kagane, which is I have a lot of quests to do there, and I am dreading it.
There's a lot of little side quests in there.
Yeah. I do appreciate that it's one zone though, because I absolutely hate doing a quest in any of the other city-states, and the other like a quest location is behind a zone divider. It keeps you immersed in the city-state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the little what are they called? Emissaries? No.
The embassies.
The embassy. Yes, that's right. The embassies, like the Thavnarian one and the Garlean one. And they're just there. It's really neat.
I like that. It also gives us like that little Thavnarian tease with their embassy. And I also like how the style changes for the embassy as well. It's like it's just designed for their different styles. I like that. What do you think, Mala? What are your thoughts on Kagane?
I was pretty blown away by it when I first went. I don't like the music anymore.
Right. That's my...
Is there a nighttime version of the song, by the way?
There is. We can listen to that while we... I
don't know, it is amazing, but I feel like I don't really explore it much. I don't go there enough.
There's a...
Similar with Ishgard, though. I just feel like Ishgard and Kagane aren't really part of the world like Gridania, Limsa, and Uldara.
I think you feel that way because events don't really take place there, right?
Possibly, yeah.
And the thing is, I feel the same kind of in the sense that Ishgard especially, because we never came back there.
It's very annoying to navigate Ishgard, by the way.
Yeah.
I hate having to look for something.
Gotcha.
Kagane is easier than Ishgard is, and also Ishgard has that annoying, like they have like upper and lower levels with the broom and shit, and then they have the upper part, the pillars. It's got that annoying like
it's like the sloped staircase.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating. So you have to kind of pay attention, like you have to actually study your map sometimes to like, where the fuck am I going? Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's easily the best looking city state.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
Amazing design.
Yeah.
I love the colors there. It's just
Colors
it's so like bright reds everywhere.
Yeah.
And the
It's
textures
even, I
on
think.
things
Mm-hmm.
look very
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
And there's just like a bunch of tiny little details. Like you can go to the sewers, and remember we just found those
The
random.
shitting lady.
Oh,
Like-
God, the people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're just. And you go to the bathhouse too, and there's
Mhm.
like people just chilling there. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
I'm gonna. I had never seen the bathhouse until
Really?
I
You
did
never
the
been there?
Allied Beast Tribe quest.
Oh.
That's the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time I saw it. I didn't know that there was this whole section there. There's a whole section with a bathhouse thing. I'd never seen it
Yeah.
before. Never been there. That's where I hang out now. Yeah, no, I like Kagame. It was a great city-state for the Othardian region.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to see Hingashi one day.
That'd be
That would
nice.
be nice.
Right.
Let's go to
Let's
Ruby
talk
C.
Ruby C.
Oh, God.
So this is the zone they made to
This is the
showcase swimming.
Yes.
This was the wall for me.
This is a wall.
Oh
This
my
I
gosh.
agree. To me, this is the worst theme.
Oh, you don't like it?
Don't even
Okay.
play it. Just don't even.
Before you unlock the ether currents, you have to spend so much time
Oh,
just
right.
fucking swimming at a slow
And no
pace.
combat underwater, so there's nothing to do.
They had to add the ferry person
Yeah.
from at the teleport so you can get across it a
Oh,
bit
God,
quicker.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was they'll do that in an update.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was.
Oh, God.
Oh,
even
yeah,
the
it was-
we even forgot about
storyline
Ralgers.
didn't-
I don't like Raugers.
We'll talk about
Ralgers
Ralgers
so-
after this. Don't worry.
I don't like it.
Um,
it's just. It was kind of a little pretty, but it suffered from Sea of Clouds syndrome
Yeah.
in that it was just lots of little dotted areas.
just like how Sea of Clouds was meant to showcase flying,
Yes,
this
exactly.
was to showcase swimming, and that's it. It's just a gimmick area almost,
Exactly.
and it doesn't really. It's not really a nice place until after you've unlocked flying and can like use mounts underwater.
Which is a positive for the next expansion because we don't have a gimmick.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, kind of a bland area. Kind of. I don't.
I mean, underwater looks pretty.
Yeah, the underwater places look great.
Yes.
Like, just
yes, that one.
all
What's
the
that?
air
Sushi of the
bubble.
Violet Tides, yeah.
The sushi.
Yeah,
Sushi
and
Land.
And
the big
And,
trench. You just,
tiramisu.
and the tower, Heaven on High, is here as
Yeah.
well. That was cool to see. But I mean, if you're comparing it to the other zones, I think this might be one of the weaker ones.
I agree.
let's try out the night theme for this
Yes,
too. Is it any
let's
better?
have a listen.
I mean, I like when you're underwater and you can see the sun shaft of light floating through, and there's the seaweed wibbling around, and it looks nice. but-
Yeah.
There was lots of little secret areas in here that weren't really used for much.
Yeah,
they're like
some had,
little air
hunts and
bubbles.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just
They
swim
were
under
the worst
them.
hunts to find because you
Yeah.
have to go through 2 loading screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a fair point. If swimming hadn't had a loading screen, maybe I wouldn't have minded this zone. quite
Why
as
did
much.
they say that there wouldn't be a loading screen for the swimming? Why did they say it? It baffles the mind. The fact that if they hadn't said anything, it wouldn't have bothered me. I'd be like, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 for you. Instead, they're like, we promise there won't be any loading screens when you dive underwater. And the first thing we see is the fucking loading wheel. You
I think they were
liars!
hoping that it would load so quickly we wouldn't realise.
Well, actually, the loading wheel only appears when you leave like a settlement, but there's like the splash screen is so obviously,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the transition screens what we're talking about. That's kind of like
yeah.
kind of wish.
It's not good though. It's like on Skyrim at the start when you face the floor for 5 minutes. while it
I'll
loads
go.
the world.
I'll go in game and show you if you don't believe me. If you go to the where the toads, it's not the toads, the turtle men are, and you get on your
Koji.
mount and you leave the bubble, there's a fucking loading wheel for a second
Yeah.
during the splash screen. Trust
Mhm.
me, it's
Okay.
true. Okay. Anyways.
I'd say definitely one of the weaker areas, but I love the underwater bits of it.
Yeah.
There's like tons of little crevices you can just look in and explore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Let's talk about Rakesh Reach.
Okay.
Ugh.
This is
It's
the
okay.
worst like tombstone exchange area or whatever.
The thing is, the area itself is really nice looking. Like it's what I was hoping it would become the Idleshire of Stormblood, but it didn't. It's just we're now in this weird place because it was in Heavensward. Everyone was in Idleshire because everything was there except for the market board. But for some reason, that didn't quite translate to Ralgers. And I don't quite know why. Is it because everything is so far apart?
Maybe because you get to it so early? Or, I don't know.
Could be that also.
Could be. I'm not entirely sure.
I like the idea of like this is the resistance camp. This is where we're gonna plan everything.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be here around this tower of the statue of Ralger. That's a cool theme, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not very interesting aside from Ralger, the statue there, and
Yeah.
I
It's home to the dungeon.
yeah.
yeah.
True. It didn't change, like chat pointed out. Like we all expected it to like grow in as the game progressed, but it never did because that's what Idleshire did, right? So this
that used to be like,
didn't
just
happen.
a little mud hut.
Yeah.
Now look at it. Yeah, the garden area and the green grub mud plots.
Yeah.
It's very small too. It feels smaller than Idleshire. I might be wrong about that, but
It feels.
I think it feels smaller because Idleshire had more like going on. It had paths that led, there are stuff to look at everywhere. In Ralgers, it feels everything is so far apart, and there's like water. There's like a lake in between, taking up most of the space.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I don't know.
And the person you buy the Monago mats from is on the other side of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
did like that.
There aren't any hanging guys who've lost his footing anywhere in Ralgers either. So
that must be it.
Yeah.
Not a hanging guy.
These glamour prisms.
Yeah.
To make rocks.
Yeah.
In front of the entrances. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But let's not. But at least this theme is legendary.
The Guardian one's better though.
Da, da.
This is sort of the melody that almost like 50% of Stormblood soundtrack is based on. Is like this melody.
What's that called? A leaf motif or something?
Yes.
Where you like reuse a theme, I guess, across multiple songs.
Yeah.
I like when they do that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm saying it wrong, but that's cool.
A leaf motif. A late motif.
That's it. I like when games do that. That's cool.
Yeah. And 14 has been doing that pretty much with every single expansion and the base game. And the night theme. Oh, sorry. This is something we should point out because it had a face where it was destroyed.
Yeah.
That's fairly true.
Yeah.
But that was part of the story, so you didn't.
Yeah, but it actually stayed that way for a while. And I also noticed that that's not a separate instance. That is just you. Other people are still around you that have finished the story in the normal Rakesh Reach. But yeah, so they played this theme in between there, which is called Procedamus in Pace.
Wow.
It's a little Latin for you. Which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. Let's something in peace. Let us proceed in peace. Forward in peace. Something like that. Wow. Something like that. But this was like a little emotional moment. Although it might have happened a bit too soon in the story for me to like.
Possibly.
It all happened very quickly. But yeah. Listening to it now, it's sad. Because now
it's good.
Yeah, we don't really hear it again, do we? This is a really good track to only play during that period of the game and never hear it again. Is there an orchestrion roll for this? I like this one.
I don't think there is.
Wow. And then, of course, as much as I want to listen to this song forever, we need to listen to the night theme as well. This is also very good.
Yeah.
This isn't a pure piano cover.
No, this one's just like a slightly slower version. Like a more peaceful version of it.
Very soothing.
This kind of goes with the Peaks music too. I feel like it's kind of like a cousin of it.
Yeah. Okay, very nice. That's
right.
Rakesh Reach.
Rakesh, not as good as some other areas.
Yeah.
No.
It's sad because it had potential to be a good hub, but it just wasn't. And now we head to Yangzhou.
Wow, Yangzhou.
Which
it's visually one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love Yangzhou.
The Moon Gate, dude. I love how the Moon Gate looks.
Yeah.
I wish I could turn it back on, like or like I don't know. It just looks really cool. I know it's supposed to be like an oppressive element, but it looks really cool.
Yeah. It's got a lot of stuff going on in it. Oh, and here's the theme.
I think my favorite bit is, you know, when you're going down near the entrance, there's that stream right next to you with all the flowers along it.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice. Isn't the theme to this song? Isn't this like a famous Chinese tune or something? Like a folk song almost? I feel like
I cannot answer that at all. I have no idea.
I might be wrong, but I definitely feel like this is based on some Chinese song. Specifically this bit right here.
Okay. I don't know.
It could be.
It's a very nice theme.
They're Aussie in China, so it makes sense.
Yeah. This zone feels big and massive. In a it's like the Dravanian forelands or hinterlands, like whatever, dude. One of the Heavensward areas. It's what they couldn't do. Like it's to give it the size without making it feel like this just empty, pointless area. Like there are like rice fields. There are there's like the Namasu stuff happening down in the mansion
thing.
Yeah. There's the of course the Moon Gate, the Swallow's Compass statue thing, which before the dungeon was just this like mysterious thing. Who was it again? Was it Heian's? Was it a relative of Heian? Was it his father? Was it?
I don't quite remember. Actually,
I can't remember.
There was the Lupin.
There was the Lupin.
Like Lupin.
It also had an underwater area too.
Yes. A little underwater bit, but not
much to speak of really, but it's there.
It was.
Yeah.
Had that little.
Oh, it's the founder of Geomancy.
Area.
That's what it was.
It had the cool little villages. It had the hidden base camp place.
Yeah. Did you mention the Garlean Castrum? That's also there.
It had the Castrum. It had that cool bit where it had the waters and they were all different colours because of the salt.
Yeah.
All the rice fields.
It also had the unexpected crystal stuff jagging out of the mountainside.
Yeah, and then you have the secret like ninja base underwater as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I kind of hated being in there. It was a little annoying to get out of.
I guess you could count the Doman Enclave as part of it, but you do have to take the ferry to actually get there, but still.
Kind of a shame it's so separated, but it's still really cool.
How it has to be,
yeah.
Doma Palace.
Doma, Doma, yeah, that's true. Yeah, big zone with a lot of stuff happening in it, and of course it has the famous Fox Lady fate.
Finally got to do that at some point.
Yeah,
I feel like there's so much to do in this area.
There is.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite zones in Stormblood.
It made a lot of good use of that weird cloud technology they added for Stormblood, where it has the clouds between them.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Yeah. And the theme, we touched on it. very good. I like the night theme a lot. This also brings back some memories, because I tried to do the Fox Lady Fate, which would never spawn. I kept doing the initial fate over and over and over again, and it never spawned. Did we do it together, Mala?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it finally popped for us at some point. Yeah, no, I like the music. Yeah.
So good.
Yangzhou.
Good area, one of the best.
Good area. Now, a seam step.
Okay.
It's a toughie. Oh, it's a good theme.
I love the Asim step. I've said this before. There is just... I don't know... I can't really put my finger on what it is, but a lot of people were like, oh, this is just like flatlands with nothing happening. Yeah. I kind of like it. It's got this like vast... It feels vast even when you're on the ground. Like, you see this map... Because when you're in a very mountainous like map, you don't really see the scale of it until you're up in the sky. But in the Asim step, you see it right away. You see this is like a massive zone, and you have the Dawn Throne in the in the middle.
The Dawn Throne is such a nice visual. Like
it is
like landmark.
Yeah,
it's really cool, and you see it in the background like these. I mean, I call them fingers coming out the ground. But you know they look like fingers trying to grab the ball.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I think that's what they're meant to be.
Aren't they? I think they're supposed to be, right? They're like the fingers of. I don't know
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, they are fingers. I think coming out of the ground.
They have a little moat down there too. It's actually kind of interesting to look down in.
Yeah, and I also love that area is called what is
Fingers
it?
of Azim. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the Fingers of Azim. Is that what they're called? There's like a place called the something of the Hyrule Warriors, which is Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, this of course is a zone. I'm just looking at it now. There's like this. It's a beautiful zone, and it's got the Namasu in it. The Namasu popped up in this zone. It's of course got the two Aura, the sun and the moon.
Sadu and Magnite.
Sadu and Magnite.
It's got that reunion where they all meet.
Yes.
Which has the silent people. Was that the Kestir? I can't remember if it was the Kestir or not.
I can't.
The people who don't speak. They were funny to try and deal with.
Yeah.
It's got what's she called? Serene? Was she called Serena?
Fuck. What's her name? Serena?
Something like that. Serena. The mole. They were amazing. She was so cute.
Yeah.
And the old lady.
The mole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys,
cool.
all of you are my namas. All of you.
You're all my namas. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I thought this was going to suffer when we saw it in the flybys and stuff. Heavensward syndrome, because it's big and flat and green.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much grass. Like, it was just flat texture.
It's cool to get like a nomadic Mongolian kind of theme too. That's something you don't see a lot in games, and that was like, it was really unique. And I love the fates too, like the chain fates about like the actual nomadic tribes running around.
Stuff they do, yeah,
and you help them out. Like that's so cool.
And it had easily the coolest leveling dungeon.
We're gonna. That's up for. I guess that's gonna be in the part 4 of our review. But yeah. Also, let's talk about the theme. It's
so good.
It's very fitting
still, right?
theme. What? This is the day's theme. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's listen to the night theme right now.
You know it's a Azim step when you hear it.
Yeah, you do.
Which is rare for me, as you probably know from the orchestrion roll round.
Yeah. This is the night theme, which of course is a piano, slower version of the original theme.
This one's harder to recognize.
Yeah.
But it's very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Plus,
Seem
being in
comfy.
museum steps at night is fantastic. It's always a brilliant night sky.
Mm-hmm.
You get some good shots of it there.
Yeah. This, if I were to rank the areas, I would say that this is probably my favorite now. The Yangzhou is probably going to be a number 2 for me. Just because I did the Namasu alone lifted this area up for me. Just the fact that they exist there is incredible.
They add to it.
Their fucking grandfather is a cod. I just can't.
That was the best bit. Yeah.
It's incredible. The Namasu Beast tribe alone, and you can see their stupid Namasu thing like from afar, and it's great.
They had an Aetherite just to help out too.
Yeah,
They did.
Yeah.
But you can't really
But-
rank them Luke Kill yet. We've had them a lot.
Some of the best story bits are in Azim Step 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to talk about the
There's
locks.
a lot of nice.
Alright.
characters.
We need to just speed through now because time is
Okay.
slipping.
Oh, it's a difficult one. The locks.
The locks.
The final area.
I love that the title of the song is called "Songs of Salt and Suffering."
Yeah, the big salt marsh thing was a bit. Yeah.
You didn't like the salt marshes?
I thought they were quite big, Ron.
It's a difficult zone because this is the zone where I realized that we weren't getting Al Amigo,
Yeah.
and the song is so fitting. The name is so fitting because of that. Songs of Salt and Suffering, and I will just never not think about it when I'm in the zone, like because I could see it there in the distance, and I see this fucking blue dungeon thing when I map the area. I see the blue dungeon icon. I'm like, fuck, you did it. The theme is nice.
This is
Seems alright. Yeah.
one of the best overworld themes, I would
Mhm.
say, for Stormblood.
Yeah.
This really feels like, okay, I'm in the last area. I see
Yeah,
all the
that's
armaments
great.
laying around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to finish Stormblood.
Yeah.
I think my issue with the locks is that the main part of it is the lock, which is the salt marsh. And I found that quite boring, but I really like the little bits outside, like the menagerie and
Yeah.
that crypt thing that you fly through at the top, and
Yeah.
the monastery and stuff, and all the little bits dotted around.
There's a lot of stuff in this zone. That,
There's a ton of stuff. They have
Yeah.
the Mad King over his
Oh,
grave
yeah, he's
over there.
toppled over,
Yeah.
And they have the underwater bits too in,
Yeah.
in the salt. And,
Yeah.
That's
and
tasty.
the salt works themselves, I
Mhm.
think, in the southern part.
I think, yeah.
And amazingly, it had an ancient city that's never been discovered for thousands of years, and we just found it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's loads of stuff. I remember there was an interview with Koji Fox where he talked about like how they almost got angry at him because he kept putting stuff in and everything had to have lore. Like every little he wanted to put more stuff in the locks, I think, but they didn't
God.
go forward with it. Yeah.
And the
Honestly, this
saltery
is my favorite area.
Wow.
This is my favorite area in Stormblood.
I can't.
Especially because of the night theme of this song. Oof.
Oh, well,
love
let's
it.
give it a listen.
Mhm.
To be honest, that is very good.
No, I can't. The zone is I like the interesting bits, but it's very it reminds me of the Dravanian areas. It's brown. It's just dirty.
I don't know.
And then
I think-
the reminder of what could have been in the distance.
I didn't have any expectations for that, so that's on you.
Mm.
So.
Oh, you can see it there. I just saw it in the video. You see it. It's towering. It's like, here I am, but you can't go in.
There's just so much cool stuff. It is underutilized. I'll say that too.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
like just
definitely.
some random bits you can fly to that are just like they're just random
Yeah.
monuments. And
Yeah.
There's some lore tied to it too. I think with like the sightseeing log.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's just so much, and then the music, and then the wall of Alamigo, and the stairs going up. Looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was visually good.
Yeah. It's okay. It's what I'm gonna land on here. It's I don't hate this zone. It was a fucking. It was really annoying to get the ether currents in this zone, though.
It was annoying. It also went by way too quickly.
I just remember there was like one where you had to like climb this fucking tower structure to get. It was that I didn't like that.
Having to get to the fucking Mad King's grave to get that 1/8 right?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, 1/8 current.
Yeah.
Super annoying too.
Yeah.
I didn't do it on my Ragnarok character for a long time because I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Not on foot, at least.
Yeah. But overall, then I think we can say that Stormblood's areas are good. They are in many ways better than Heavensward's.
Yes.
Because they...
I think...
Yep, go on.
Stormblood's combined the size of Heavensward with the detail of Aram Reborn for the most part. As I will still argue that Aram Reborn zones are nicer in my opinion.
They are, in my opinion, too.
But
yeah,
it's done a very good job of making good use of space. So
yeah,
it's going to be good next expansion, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, should we talk about the Dome and Enclave really quick?
Okay.
Just kind of throw it in there.
We can talk about that quickly.
Okay.
It's an interesting concept to rebuild and not have it being rebuilt server like worldwide.
Yeah.
You can do it whenever you want to, so you don't miss out on it. I don't know how I feel about the area though. It feels kind of pointless now.
I sort of agree with that. Yeah.
I like the area a lot. Like all the detail that goes into it, like the school, the shops, and the farm. Really cool. Yeah. I just kind of wish it was that area in front of Doma Castle instead.
Yeah, same.
That we got to rebuild instead of it just being on its own island.
Because that's now just a ruin still. So I don't understand. Like I don't feel like the world has moved on. If you look at that, because the castle itself is still flooded. There's still water coming out of the castle. I don't know why they decided to put that. Maybe I don't know. It's just a weird thing they did.
I like that we can just go to Ian's house whenever.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, we're kind of close, you know.
I'm a personal friend of Ian.
That's that. That's stay tuned next week, because that's when we'll talk about the dungeons.
What are your favourite zones? Sum up with what you know.
Azim Step.
Go with the locks.
Yangzhou.
There we go.
So Azim Step, Locks, and Yangzhou. Those are our tops here.
We're all tops here now. Right, that's the end of the episode. Sorry we have no time for Mogmail. We have to move on because in what was supposed to be the post show, we're actually doing Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire. So make sure if you're watching live, stay tuned for that. If you're watching on demand, well, sucks to be you. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfIdle, and youtube.com/SpeakersXIV. Exclamation Discord in chat if you're watching live, and if you are watching on demand or listening, link is in the description. Also, remember to send us mugmail, speakersxiv.com/mogmail. That's mogmail. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal? Do I still say that? Bye, everyone.
Bye.